Welcome back to the American Dream Podcast Season 3. Now it's time to hear what Americans think of their dream. I'm your host, Ekaterina. Привет! I'm in the studio with the local country artist, Dallas Jones. Welcome!
Thank you, Katie. How are you doing? Good to be here.
I'm good. So you and I met for the first time at Whiskey Tango, and I remembered you as always a person that knows how to play every song in the world.
I don't know about every song, but I try to know as many as necessary. How about that?
You are incredibly talented, and I'm very excited to get to know you and, of course, what you think about the American dream. So you are originally from Missouri. Where exactly in Missouri were you born?
I'm born and raised in Springfield, Missouri. Been here my whole life.
Oh, okay. So do you have a musician's family?
I actually learned my grandpa is the sort of the pivotal musician in my family, and that's how I got started playing country music and playing the guitar. Was watching him play for my aunts and uncles and my cousins. We would all gather around in the living room, and he'd pull this guitar out from behind the couch and start playing these Hank Williams, Buck Owens, old country music songs.
Interesting. So your grandpa was the one who got you into music.
I would say definitely the first time I remember seeing and experiencing someone play the guitar and sing songs definitely was my grandpa.
What was the inspiration for you to make music?
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand with that. In my family, it was sort of like when you get to a certain age, here's your guitar. You better learn some songs. Sort of like a rite of passage, I guess.
Okay, so how would you describe the music that you typically create? Or play?
Yeah, most of the songs. So I look at what I do in two different aspects. I'm a songwriter first and foremost, and I've put out 9 or 10 albums of original material. But then I also do more just entertainment, playing Beatles songs and Tom Petty songs and Bob Dylan songs. So I look at it as two different things. It just kind of depends on the gig and what's going to suit the room the best, I guess. Yeah.
So what is your creative process like?
Creative process for writing songs for me was always, have an idea, sit down, write the song. But sometimes that doesn't happen as quickly or as easily as you would like. So sometimes you have to force yourself to put yourself in the mindset of, I'm going to write a song today. I'm going to do the work and kind of push it along. If you wait for that creative spark, sometimes it doesn't come. Mm-hmm. So you kind of got to do your half, and then, the universe meets you halfway, and hopefully you get a song out of it.
Mm-hmm. So have you collaborated with any local musicians?
Sure. I play every Sunday night with Molly Healy at the Springfield Brewing Company, and we've been doing that for over 10 years every Sunday. And I play with Brandon Moore and Jimmy Ray and Mike Henderson and Barrick Hill and all kinds of different bands, just depending on what the gig is and what we need to provide. So,
Is there a dream artist that you would want to collaborate with?
Oh, to collaborate with? Taylor Swift. I mean,
really?
She's incredible. And I know, I'm probably not her target market, but I've always been, from day one, a huge fan of Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Did I surprise you with that?
You did, very much so. I was not expecting you to say that.
No, and I can dissect why I think she is such a formidable talent as a songwriter, as an entertainer, as a marketer. She's got such a brand, and she's in control of what she does, and it's incredible to watch.
Okay. Yeah. And if you could go and open a show for any artist besides Taylor Swift.
I don't know if we really match up very well.
No. Who would that be?
I love Jason Isbell. He's a singer from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. That would be more in line with the genre of music that I kind of play, like the folk, country, Americana. That would be just a real dream come true.
Okay. Besides him and Taylor Swift, what other famous musicians do you admire, or maybe your role models?
Bob Dylan's probably my biggest, inspiration as a songwriter. I love the Beatles. I grew up on the Beatles. Paul McCartney and John Lennon are huge influences. John Prine, he's another singer, not quite as well known. He passed away recently, but is what they call a songwriter. He doesn't know a lot of chords on the guitar, but he's just an incredible songwriter.
Okay. So I want to know, since you're a musician, and how long you've been a musician or in this industry?
Well, I wouldn't even know if I'm in the industry. The music industry is, I look at that as a different thing. I like to think of myself as being in the entertainment industry.
Okay. Entertainment industry.
Yeah, that's what I would say. The music industry, I feel like, is people who are trying to get to the next level and then the next level and, bigger cities, bigger markets, a record deal, something like that. Mm-hmm. I kind of gave up on that dream a while ago.
Okay.
I'm more pragmatic and I'm looking to go to places where they're looking for someone to entertain a group of people that are already assembled, ready to hear music.
Mm-hmm. So that's being in entertainment industry, what is the best advice you've been given?
Be yourself. Be yourself. If something feels too good to be true, it probably is. Those two things will steer you in the right direction more often than anything. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That'd be what I'd say.
Is there anything you would change about entertainment industry?
Well, I wish more people would pay attention and be giving of their hearts and their minds and their monies and appreciation to all musicians at any level, and from the bottom to the top. Sometimes people aren't as appreciative, and they can be kind of rude, honestly, to musicians in certain situations, like they have ownership of them in some way, like you're a jukebox. Mm-hmm. Like, play this song. I want to hear this song. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And there's a right way to do that, to request a song, and there's definitely a wrong way. So I wish people, appreciated them a little bit more, because it makes the world beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where have you performed so far? What are your favorite and maybe least favorite venues?
Oh, least favorite. I'd say any venue where people are not super nice, whatever venue that is. But most of the places I play at in Springfield are really great. I play at all the local breweries. And there's 9 or 10 in Springfield now. I do a lot of private parties, corporate events, weddings, funerals, whatever, wherever the gig takes me.
Funerals.
That's where I go. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's funny about funerals. Has anybody ever said that before? Funny about funerals?
I don't think so.
It's a really fulfilling gig. Whenever you're playing, I play a lot of weddings, and it's like, weddings. But when you're playing at someone's funeral, like the last song to really celebrate a person's life, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful.
Is that your favorite or least favorite part?
I don't know if it's my favorite.
About being a musician.
Oh, well.
What is?
Just getting to do something I love, and now to the point where I get paid to do it. I mean, that to me is a dream. Mm-hmm. I'm not looking to go to Nashville or go to Hollywood or go to New York. I'm looking to keep playing as many good paying gigs as I can while I can, and support my family doing it. And that's my dream, and I'm doing that.
What is your least favorite part about being a musician?
Oh, self-promotion. Having to talk about this stuff all the time on social media to try and get people interested, get people talking, get people to come to your gigs. That's hard. That's hard to put yourself out there, because 99% of it is rejection and failure and that kind of stuff. And so it takes some thick skin to, at any level, be a musician and put yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on the internet, I feel like. Do you receive a lot of hate?
No, not a lot of hate, but more just a lot of silence.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably worse than hate.
Sometimes it is. Well, it's like, you think you've put this great song out there and you've poured your heart into it and you put it out there and nothing happens.
Right. Speaking of the internet, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
Well, that's really tough. It's changed it in so many ways, some good, some bad. Now, the good thing is anybody anywhere in the world can record a good sounding album on their iPhone. The bad thing is that anyone in the world can record a song on their iPhone.
That's
so
true.
There's so many things out there. It almost becomes so daunting and overwhelming. It's hard to process. And a lot of times people like myself, lower level people, we just get lost in the shuffle. So that's why I focus less on that stuff that I can't control, more on the stuff that I can control, getting good local gigs. That to me is more my focus and priority.
So how many instruments do you play?
Let's see. I play the guitar primarily. I play the piano, bass guitar, banjo, and mandolin.
What is your favorite one?
I love playing the piano. I don't play the piano as much at my gigs just because it's a little more difficult to bring a piano or a keyboard. But if I'm at home playing an instrument, I'm typically playing the piano.
Mm-hmm. And who taught you how to play piano?
I taught myself. I taught myself to play the guitar too. And the guitar, I remember learning, I was probably about 13, and I would just hole up in my bedroom for hours and hours playing Beatles songs and Creedence songs, and to where I had enough guts to come out of the bedroom and play them in front of my family. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it went well, sometimes not so well. So I go back in the bedroom, keep working.
Yeah.
But a few years after that, I sat down at a piano for the first time, and it made a lot more sense, the way a piano is laid out. And within, 30 minutes or so, I was like, I can play the piano. I can figure this out. Mm-hmm. It's a great instrument. Mm-hmm. If I could play anything really, really well, I would play, are you ready? The accordion.
Really? It's a beautiful instrument.
I'm fascinated by the accordion. Like when you really find a legit accordion player, the talent, it's incredible. It's just incredible to hear, to watch. I love it. It's my my spirit instrument.
And do you have a least favorite instrument to play?
Oh no, I can't really think about. If it is, I wouldn't even play it. I don't know. I don't play any like woodwinds or things like that, just because I don't know how and I haven't been around them. But no, not necessarily.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned a little bit about your grandpa being a musician. Mm-hmm. Anyone else in your family?
My brother started to play guitar a little bit before me. And actually, when I think about it, probably one of the reasons that I started to progress pretty quickly was because I was wanting to emulate him. Mm-hmm. So he got the guitar first, and I remember I would sneak into his room when he was gone, steal the guitar, bring it into my room, and play it. And then finally he was like, hey, get your own guitar.
Okay, so speaking of your family, let's dive into the American Dream portion of this podcast, okay? So do you know anything about your family tree? What generation of immigrants are you? Where is your original family from?
Yeah, I know a little bit about that. Probably not as far back as I should. That is one good thing about the internet. They tell me that you can get on these websites and trace your family tree, and actually being involved in this podcast made me think, I need to sit down and really do that. That's good information. I know on my mom's side of the family, my great-grandpa was from the Netherlands. I'm not sure if he immigrated or if it was his parents that immigrated, but that's where my mom's side would be from. The Jones side, I know, has a lot of Welsh and English descent, but again, I'm not sure when they actually made the move over to America.
So that was never discussed at a family dinner or anything like that. So how did you learn about this?
That's just, I remember hearing that about my great-grandpa on my mom's side. I just remember hearing it in sort of passing. On my dad's side, I just have looked up, where's the name Jones come from? Oh, it came from here.
Yes.
I am a fourth-generation farmer, though, and we've been on a family farm for at least 4 generations. But honestly, it's probably more than that. But I know for a fact it's 4 generations. So that would be, 1900s, early 1900s.
Right. Farming is actually that basic American dream picture.
I don't know if it's a dream or not, but it's an American necessity.
Yes,
at least it used
it's
to
like
be,
that typical picture of America.
Sure, that's true.
Yes, absolutely. So American dream. Yeah. What do you think about it?
Well, tell me what you think the American dream is.
Being rich with a big, good family, strong family, big house, a farm.
Yes,
a cow.
I wish I could say it's attainable for anyone, but I don't know if it is. I don't know. Sometimes people have certain obstacles that are put in their way that are just insurmountable.
Yes.
Other people have a lot of advantages right from the start. Mm-hmm. So it's not a level playing field by any stretch of the means. For me, the American dream would be owning a home, providing for my family, having, even a basic sense of safety, security. And that's what I'm working towards. Mm-hmm. And I have that, which is good. And so I want to keep it.
Right. So you think that concept still exists?
I think it does. Yeah, for sure. It's certainly changed. I don't think the rules are the same, or even just like standard jobs. A lot of times it's like, well, you go to your factory and you work this job for 30 years and then you retire and that's your dream. You've fulfilled the American dream. But now, work looks completely different. And so sometimes, like coming from a farming background, it has taken my dad a little bit to recognize you can make money as a musician, and that's a job, and it's a good job, but it's not backbreaking, labor. But to me, that's even better. Like, I can go and actually make a good hourly wage, and it's great. Farming is tough. It's tough, and it's less likely for people to have to accumulate wealth and be prosperous as a farmer than it was 50 years ago. It's really hard these days.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that your American dream is to have a big home.
Not necessarily a big home, just own your own home.
Own your own home.
And security and safety and purpose and family. All those things are, part of it.
So nothing specific.
Definitely not.
Besides the house.
Well, I'm not like, well, if I can own 2 homes or 3 or a yacht or anything like that. That is not even on my radar.
You're more about internal happiness.
Internal happiness, but also saving for the future so that at some point I can pass down stuff to my kids and my grandkids so that they can have a better chance at having that same dream, whatever it means to them.
Yes. Speaking of the future, Dallas, what's next for you?
It's funny you ask. I found out today I have been selected to represent Springfield in the Isesaki, Japan Sister City Exchange Program.
Oh my God.
So every year, Springfield selects a few people, some musicians, some people from maybe city council or professionals, and they have a group and they send them over to a city in Japan as like an exchange program, like an ambassador program. So I will go in September for about a week, and I'll perform 3 or 4 times at this fall festival. And I am just thrilled. I'm beside myself that I've been invited to do it.
That is exciting news.
Yeah.
Dallas, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for visiting me today. We are upon our break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. You're listening to the American Dream Podcast. A few weeks ago, I had an interview with a country singer, Parker McCollum. Here we are backstage before the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So my podcast is focused on the concept of the American dream. What you do for a living is the dream of many Americans and the American dream of many immigrants. Becoming rich and famous is what I like to say to people when they ask me about my American dream. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this concept, so let's just dive straight into it.
All right, let's go.
Being a country music artist, what first got you into music? What inspired you? Who was it?
I think just my mom listened to really good country music. When I was a kid, George Strait and Garth Brooks and Keith Whitley and Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard, and my granddad was listening to Porter Wagner and Dolly Parton and Ray Charles and Ray Price, and just great country music that I wasn't even necessarily listening to when I was a kid, but I was hearing it and fell in love with melodies and singing and trying to do what those guys were doing, and here I am, I guess, almost 25 years later, still doing it, trying to at least.
You released your first single in 2013, and ever since then, you have had a lot of successful hits. In your opinion, what is the best song you've ever released, and why?
The best song I've ever released? I don't know. I really don't think too highly of any of them, honestly. I guess if I had it'd probably be a song called Rest of My Life off of my last record.
Okay. You have also collaborated with a lot of country artists in the past.
A couple.
And the latest song you were featured on was with Ronnie Dunn. Yes. So which musician would you like to collaborate with next?
I would love to do a song with Willie Nelson. I'd love to do a song with Dolly Parton. I'd love to do a song with George Strait. I'd love to do a song with Miranda Lambert or Carrie Underwood or Reba. Any of those would be good.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. So if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
If I could change anything about the industry, I don't know. I think the industry was pretty fair and honest. I know it gets a bad rap, and a lot of people may not agree with that, but it's the American dream, and the music industry kind of have a lot of parallels and a lot of similarities is, if you get up every morning and bust your butt and put the time in and have genuine intentions and have a good heart and a really solid work ethic, and not to mention, the talent side of everything, you can make it happen. And it's just like life. Whatever you put into it's what you're going to get out of it. And it's not meant for everybody. It's not everybody gets a trophy and everybody gets to make it. It's a cutthroat business, and you got to know that going into it. But if you're big star bound, it's a long, hard ride, I think is what Dak said. So.
Mm-hmm. So what is your favorite and least favorite part about being a musician?
Favorite part is probably getting to perform for my job. I think that's probably the most rewarding thing, to be a songwriter and then get to go on stage and hear people sing the songs and love the songs that you just wrote in your bedroom. My least favorite part is probably how much time I spend away from home. Always gone. I leave constantly, flying across the country to go and do this every night and fly back. So that's probably my least favorite part.
Mm-hmm. And you are originally from Texas.
Born and raised, yes, ma'am.
Yes. How well do you know your family tree?
Not that well. Not very well.
Not very well. Okay. Do you know anything about your original family?
I know I've got Scots-Irish, and I know they came over from Germany. Some of my mom's side of the family, my grandmother Joanne Yancey, I want to say she was born in 1937. Her mom was born in 1909, and I believe her parents came over from Germany on a boat, the old school way.
How did you learn about your family tree?
I think just hearing my mom talk about it and my grandma talk about it.
And do you know what generation of immigrants are you?
Absolutely not even, wouldn't even be able to lob up a guess.
So you don't know why your original family immigrated here, possibly at all?
Not even the slightest clue.
I actually done some research on your name. There is this website that does that for you, and I did find out that you are English-Irish.
Oh wow. English-Irish.
Based on your first and last name only.
I look pretty English-Irish.
Yes, absolutely. So what do you think about the American dream?
I think it's one of the greatest single tangible goals ever created. It's not just a goal; it's a lifestyle. The American dream is. My grandfather is the prime example. He is the definition of the American dream. Was born in the Great Depression to parents with not a lot of money, and died a very wealthy man. Was county judge at 23 years old. Was one of the largest concrete company founded and started that company just in the state of Texas at the time. Phenomenal life. Started at the bottom and ended at the very tip top, and did it all the hard way, true American cowboy. Back breaking work every day, and did it all himself, and that is the American dream. And then he was able in his later life to work less and make more money, and that's the American dream.
So Americans do have American dream. They don't live it.
I think you're living it from the very first day you're born in this country. You have that opportunity. You have the opportunity, and you can say what you want and do what you want. And a lot of people, I feel like, kind of abuse that nowadays and use it for the wrong reasons, and they're not appreciative of, they don't think about the fact there's 6 billion people in the world, and the vast majority of those people do not have the opportunities that we are born with here in this country. Regardless of the way you look or whatever group you might be a part of nowadays, you can wake up tomorrow morning and you can start hustling, and you can start grinding, and you can start working towards a goal and better in life. And my whole thing has always been, I want to make enough money to take care of my parents in case they get sick when they get old, or something in our family happens. My family's been through a lot, and luckily some people had made some money and were able to take care of those problems because they had made money, and that's what it takes in those situations. And I've always kind of thought about the same thing. I didn't want to rely on anybody or wait on anybody to pay for me. I wanted to go out and get my own and earn it the hard way. And regardless of what you look like or where you come from, here in the U.S., everybody has that opportunity.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And what is your American dream? Have you ever thought about it? Or have you already reached it, maybe?
Yeah, I would say, yes, ma'am. I would say I've reached it. Obviously, I've got a lot more I want to do and a lot further I'd like to go. But my end-all goal is just make enough money singing country music to buy the ranch I want and probably have some kids with my wife, Hallie Ray, and be able to live the life I've been picturing since I was a little kid, and hunt and fish and play golf when I'm home and work cows when I'm home, and just kind of, work less and make more money, I guess, is the goal. So,
And you are on tour right now. What's next for you?
Record coming out in May, new album. It's playing the Houston Rodeo here in a few weeks, which is, the biggest thing in the world to me that I could ever do in my career. I'm about to do it for a second time. Long tour all through the summer and fall, and then October 28th is the last show of our tour, and then go deer hunting. So
perfect.
Yes,
Perfect.
ma'am.
Classic American dream right there. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Parker.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks,
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you as well.
This was awesome.
Congratulations on your
Thank you.
citizenship. And
Thank you so much.
I hope you love the U.S.
After interviewing Parker and hearing his perspective on the concept of the American dream, I went to see his show. I was shocked to hear the onstage dedication about this interview.
United States of America, which is badass. We did an interview, and the only thing that she really wanted to talk about was how excited she was to have a shot at the American dream. Which I have not heard somebody that excited about that, I don't think, in my entire life, and how grateful she was to be in this great country with so much opportunity. And it kind of made me take a step back and think about it all. And I thought that was pretty damn cool, man. We got it pretty good over here. She said, "You have captured the American dream." I said, "Yeah, I guess I have. All these fine people showing up on a Saturday night to cry to some country songs with us, that's American dream, I guess, right there." The song also goes out to Miss Katie.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God, wow. Getting to talk to my favorite country artist, hearing his music, and having a song dedicated to me was a life-changing experience, and I am so thankful for this opportunity. This was my American dream.
So many nights wishing I could go